Tonight on Newswatch, President Obama's administration released their plan to close Guantanamo Bay.
And
I will have the latest in cyclone sports and a recap of the weekend.
Plus, we've got a nice forecast on tap for you. We'll give you all the details as Newswatch starts right now.
Watch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good evening. Welcome to the February 23rd edition of Newswatch. I'm Colton Loftin.
And I'm Julian Neely. Thank you for joining us. President Obama and his administration released their plan to close the detention center at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and their plan to transfer prisoners to a facility in the United States. President Obama said keeping this facility open is contrary to our values. It undermines our standing in the world, and it is viewed as a stain on our broader record of upholding the highest standards of rule of law. The plan makes a financial argument for closing the controversial detention center. It calls for up to $475 million in construction costs that would ultimately be offset by as much as $180 million per year in operating cost savings, says U.S. officials. This proposal is a piece of Obama's 2008 campaign. Obama is taking his last chance to fulfill this promise he made during his first run for office. The proposal was to close Guantanamo and persuade lawmakers to allow the Defense Department to move nearly 60 detainees to the United States.
A campaign within the Chicago Police Department to increase diversity in ranks has resulted in a 13% jump in minority applications. The department is emphasizing its effort to restore frayed trust with the black community. Recruiters visited churches, schools, and community events, and the department produced advertisements in Spanish as well as English. About 70% of the 14,000 applicants are black, Hispanic, or Asian, the department said. The police department is driving to rebuild relationships and ties with the black, Hispanic, and Asian communities.
Design students came out to Memorial Union this past Thursday for an opportunity to speak with possible future employers at the career fair. Danielle Carpenter has more.
Many eager students came out to the Design Career Fair on Thursday in the Memorial Union to get the chance to talk to employers from all over. Several of the businesses that have already been to the career fair returned because they are extremely satisfied with the Iowa State students that they have recruited before.
Several of our interns have gone on to receive full-time employment. I'm an alumni from Iowa State, and I have a full-time job at the DOT in the Office of Strategic Communications. I'm a graphic designer, and it's just worked out tremendously wonderful for us, and we appreciate the opportunity to have everybody here.
While it's always good to have experience in the field, many of these businesses are also interested in finding employees who can make a good fit with their company.
The better candidates we can get, and the more candidates we can get, the more likely we are going to be able to find the right employees that fit with what we have. Because it's not necessarily always what you know, but it's how you fit with everybody that's already there and the type of projects you're interested in working on.
With over 50 companies from all over in one room, the career fair can be a scary place to be. But just being yourself and enjoying the experience can make it a little easier.
I think just being personable, like go up to them and just be yourself. Don't be shy or nervous. It's fine. Like, I know that's really hard sometimes, but just go up and be yourself.
The career fair sets students up with a great opportunity to interact with companies that fit their post-college wants and needs. For ISU TV, I'm Danielle Carpenter.
Stephen, the president from the University of Iowa and Northern Iowa presented the fiscal year 2017 budget priorities to the legislature's Education Appropriations Subcommittee February 11th at the state capitol. Iowa State asked for an additional $9.7 million in state operational support for the budget year. This includes $8.2 million increase to general university appropriation and 2.7% increase to the university units that receive their own state appropriation. The budget will go towards a variety of things, including student support services, investments in student learning analytics, and investments in student financial literacy to reduce debt at graduation. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more news after these messages.
Newswatch Brian Dalton was arrested Monday following a deadly shooting in Kalamazoo, Michigan over the weekend. Dalton, who was employed as a driver for the taxi service Uber, was suspected of a rampage that killed 6 people and injured 2 others. Kalamazoo police have found 11 rifles in his household as well as a semi-automatic pistol that matches the casing found at the crime scene. Dalton was charged with 6 counts of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and 8 illegal firearm charges.
With the rise in temperatures, the National Weather Service has issued several flood warnings in central Iowa. Runoff from the snow and ice has increased water levels in the Des Moines and Raccoon rivers, causing several dangerous floodplains. The National Weather Service is also advising the threat of ice jams, which are the buildup of ice on rivers causing blocks in river flow.
Netflix knows how long you browse before picking a show to watch. Creepy? Right. The instant streaming company found users to take 60 to 19 seconds or browse through 10 to 20 titles to find a show or movie to watch. If they don't find anything, they give up. Netflix used this to better their suggestions for you section. The company used countless surveys and intense research over the past year to revamp the system to better serve users all over the world.
The candy company Mars announced that it will be recalling millions of Snickers and Milky Way chocolate bars. The voluntary recall is in response to customers reporting bits of plastic found in the candy. Mars Incorporated is pulling many of the products off the shelves and requests that any chocolate bar with the Best Buy dates between June and October 2016 should not be consumed.
The federal government was approved Iowa's plan to move the Medicaid system to individual managed care providers. Iowa's Governor Terry Branstad announced Tuesday that the implementations of the plan will begin on April 1st. The Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services first told the administration the original date of January 1st, but was afraid that the process was moving too fast. The plan would allow several private healthcare providers to manage the system that provides healthcare to financially less fortunate. With that announcement, I was set to join 39 other states in the District of Columbia who all have managed care system. Now we are joined with Mary Rominger at the desk with sports. Mary, how did Cyclone Athletics do this weekend?
The men's basketball team lost a tough one last night against West Virginia. I'll have more after the break. The Iowa State men's basketball team will have another day to have its 5th straight 20-win season. Last night, the 14th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers topped the number 17 Iowa State Cyclones. The Cyclones had 6 players score double figures, but that wasn't enough to overcome Iowa State being out-rebounded 43-23. This Saturday, the Cyclones will have their chance to bounce back in Hilton Coliseum to tip off against the 15-13 Kansas State Wildcats at 5 o'clock p.m. This past Saturday, the Cyclones hockey team fell to the Ohio Bobcats 5-2 in the CSCHL tournament. The team struggled with keeping focus and couldn't top one of their biggest rivals. This upcoming Friday, Iowa State will face the Springfield Express at 8:30 p.m. for Seniors Night. After Friday's game, the Cyclones will have one last tournament before their season comes to an end. The gymnastics team hosted 2 meets in Hilton Coliseum this past Friday and Sunday. Heading into the weekend, the gymnastics team was on a 4-meet winning streak. Unfortunately for the Cyclones, their best players had crucial mistakes costing them in overall tallies. The team couldn't come out with one win on the entire weekend. Iowa State's next meet will be in Champaign, Illinois this Friday at 7 o'clock at night. With the Big 12 Indoor Championships looming next weekend, the Iowa State men's track and field squad had a couple of runs at the Alex Wilson Invitational Saturday. The Cyclones' distance medley relays team also put up the 3rd best time in school history over the weekend, finishing in 9 minutes and 32 seconds. The team consisting of Christian DeLago, Deion Sanders, Brandon Wheat, and Daniel Everett finished 3rd in their section in 9th overall. Jacob On also had a good day, running an 800-meter race and finishing 3rd in that race. The Cyclones get a short week of practice before they host the Big 12 Indoor Championships on Friday and Saturday in Lead. Multi-events begin at 11 a.m. with track and field events starting at 3.
Welcome back to Newswatch, everybody. We're still pretty mild across the state right now with temperatures in the upper 30s, 39 in Des Moines, 34 over in Council Bluffs, and a lone 40 over in Ottumwa. Outside of our studio here in Ames, 37 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, that northwest wind at 14 miles an hour. Now we topped off in the mid-40s across the central portion of the state, 43 here in Ames, 44 in Waterloo, and then some upper 40s down to the south, 46 in Des Moines, 46 in Ottumwa, and 46 over in Council Bluffs. That blue area you see here, that's actually snowpack that's still on the ground, and that should be melted off within the next few days as we're going to see temperatures above 32 going on throughout the week. Now that's caused some few issues, as they've mentioned earlier in the show, with rivers beginning to flood. We have some flood warnings out here across certain portions of the state. That should be alleviated, though, as we're seeing these warmer temperatures, not much snow left on the ground, and we're not expecting any major precipitation coming, so that should go away on its own. Right now, just a few scattered snow and rain showers up to the north along the border. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies across the state. That should begin to make its way out throughout the night, mostly cloudy tonight, and then as we get into morning, mostly cloudy skies, mostly clear skies, with patchy returning clouds throughout the day tomorrow. Now the model tries to throw some blue in there for light snow showers. That shouldn't happen. We're too dry, so I think we should stay mainly dry, but see just some scattered passing clouds throughout the day tomorrow, and then we start to clear out again on Thursday morning. Lows tonight will get down into the upper 20s, 28 in Marshalltown, 28 in Waterloo, 30 down in Ottumwa. Here in Ames, we'll see a low temperature of 26 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. It'll be cool and calm with that north wind at 8 to 13 miles an hour. Tomorrow is going to be a slightly cooler day than what we've seen the last few days, with highs 36 in Marshalltown, 38 in Ottumwa, 35 in Waterloo, 33 in Mason City, 38 for us tomorrow, partly sunny skies with that north wind 13 to 17 miles per hour. But we have a nice forecast for you. Again, 38 on Wednesday with partly cloudy skies. Even cooler day on Thursday with 34. Partly cloudy skies. We see some building clouds on Friday with a temperature of 42, but we do begin to warm up. A nice day on Saturday going up into 53 degrees. And then for the rest of the weeks, to start your week, nice 40s for you. So we're getting into that time of year where we're seeing those 40s, and that should stick around for going into March. We'll send it to break. We'll have more coming up.
Welcome back from the break. Ames police are asking for your help in identifying a man who is accused of using a stolen credit card at a Casey's store on Lincoln Way on Clark on December 26, 2015. The suspect is described as a medium-build black man with glasses and facial hair. Anyone with any information is asked to contact Officer Ryan Howe or the Story County Crime Stoppers.
Donald Trump won the South Carolina primaries on Saturday with 32.5% of the vote. Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz fought for second place with 22.5% and 22.3% respectively. Jeb Bush suspended his campaign on Saturday after taking a disappointing 7.8% of the vote. Ben Carson and John Kasich remain in the race. Today, the Republicans face off in Nevada caucuses. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton managed to win the Nevada caucuses on Saturday with a narrow lead, getting 52.6% of the vote compared to Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' 47.3% of the vote. This loss is a big blow to Sanders' campaign and the momentum that his campaign has drawn after winning the New Hampshire. South Carolinians go to polls on Saturday to cast their primary vote, where according to the latest polls, Hillary Clinton has almost 30-point lead over Sanders.
On Monday, February 29th at 7 p.m. in Carver Room 282, Delta Sigma Theta will be hosting a Black History Month game show. Black History Month was created by Dr. Carter G. Woodson in 1915. It started as Black History Week and was the second week in February, which is also the same week of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthdays. Then it evolved to Black History Month. In 1976, President Gerald R. Ford officially recognized Black History Month, calling the public to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history.
As travelers get larger, airline seats seem to be getting smaller. That's why Airbus airline manufacturer has filed a patent for a reconfigured passenger belt seat, accommodating larger passengers as well as small children. In years past, obese passengers would have to pay extra for a regular seat. And in 2013, Samoa Air charged passengers by weight. The new benches would come with adjustable detachable seat belts for all passengers regardless of size.
And that's all for tonight's edition of Newswatch.
Join us on Thursday for more news, weather, and sports.
Until next time, have a wonderful night, Ames. Don't forget to buy your Girl Scout cookies.